This is the Red Lever Show with me, Josh Everton, Andy Simcox, Tracy Martin, and Craig Wood. We've got a few topics to talk about this week. Obviously, no game on Saturday, so we're going to fill that time discussing everything around Khaled with a potential move back to Sweden at the end of the season. Obviously, there's been some developments in the shirt saga between fans and Fanatics, so we'll see if any of us have been affected by that in particular. I don't know if anyone has. Andy, have you? I feel like there might have been something that's happened to you recently. Unsure.
I can remember. I'll try and remind myself and talk later.
We can see. We can get into it later.
How long's this show going to last? How long are you going to give me?
And then finally, we'll round it off with Leyton Orient away.
We've got a game, have we? Oh, we've got a game as well.
So, first off, actually, we'll start with the women's game, Tracy, because first away win.
First away win, yeah. Yeah, they were playing Redcar, who are bottom of the league, but still, it's a bit of a trek. So, yeah, but I had it on good authority that the bus was very nice, executive bus, so they were very happy about the travel. So that was pleasing. And, yeah, they had a good result. They won 3-2. Jodie Gregory scored early on. It was 2. They went 2-2 at half time, and then Maddie Foy scored the winner in the second half. She also got the player of the match, so because she got an assist. Oh no, I'm sorry, she didn't get the player of the match. She scored 2 goals, got an assist, and didn't get the player of the match. So that tells you how good Jodie Gregory must have been. So because she did get the player of the match.
That is a tough one. That to score 2 and assist, still not win it.
Yeah. Exactly. So the week before they did lose at home to Hull United, which was really disappointing, and the players were extremely disappointed about that. And there was sort of a bit of soul searching to be done after that result. So it's really good that they went to Redcar and got that win. Currently 5th in the table, which there's 13 in the league, so they're pretty much, give or take, just above halfway. So with coming up last year, I think currently they're pretty happy with where they are. Although I think the performance side are looking to improve. As it stands, as far as I'm aware, there's no game this weekend because it's a cup weekend, and unfortunately they got knocked out of the FA Cup. But keep an eye on the social media, because if there is a game slotted in, then obviously they'll promote it on there. But yeah, well done on the first away win.
Yeah, congratulations on the first away win. And as Tracy just said, make sure you keep an eye on social media in case a friendly or something pops up, and make sure you get down and support them. Right, we'll stop you, Andy, going on a rant. So we'll start with the Khaled news, which came out a week or so ago. So we're a little bit slow to it, but Khaled rumoured to be going back to Sweden, Craig, at the end of the season. And it almost seems a little bit like an open secret in a way now. There's been multiple reports, and I think Dougal Kane's reported on it, and BBC Radio Sheffield have as well. And it's come back that there is interest. And there's a couple of things from that I want to discuss, because realistically, if he knows he's going at the end of the season, how invested is he going to be in our sort of success? Because he's got a very pivotal, when you look at where we are this season, also we know where we need to improve. You've got a very pivotal transfer window coming up, and it feels like someone that's had their head turned towards the end of the season and their contracts moving away. It feels like a little bit of uncertainty has crept in there.
I don't think he's going to change the way he does things. I think obviously he's going to be looking forward to a new challenge if that's what he's going to do. But I think he's professional enough. He's going to want to have left this club in a state not worse than when he come, which is if we don't get promoted, then we are worse than when he come in, because we weren't Championship, I think, when he come in. So I think that for his CV, he'll want to get us promoted this season and end it off with a high. You know, there's been ups and downs. He's made some bad decisions, but he's on the whole, the players he's fetched in, I think he's fetched in some real quality players. I've got a list in front of me of players. I think I posted it to our chat, and he's got a lot more hits than misses, to be completely honest with you, the way I see it. Luca Connell's on there, Adam Phillips, James Norwood, even though it were only a season, Nicky Cadden, Lapata seems to be doing well, Cosgrove, and Max Waters coming in, which is a bit iffy at minute, but yeah, look, I think he's a professional guy. I think he's he'll not want to leave us down here. He'll want to get us back up. So I think he'll probably try harder, knowing that this is his last transfer window to make an impact.
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. He's a professional. It's a professional position to be in, and obviously, if he then doesn't deliver during January, it's not going to look great because it's not exactly a signed and sealed thing. What he's moving to, or as far as I understand, anyway, at least. Andy, when I think Craig's put up a good point there of the players in which he's brought in and the sort of on-field side of it is better than the off-field side of things that have gone off during his time here. But he's not really had the. It never. I always felt sorry for the situation which he came into. Of obviously Shop at that time had lost. I have no idea how many he'd lost, but we're on that downward trajectory. He had to come in and make a very, very quick decision on if he stays or goes. Got rid of him, and then didn't really have much time to go and then appoint someone that we needed because he was still learning the club at the time, and then was hit with a January transfer window all within the first 2 months in which he came. So it wasn't exactly the easiest environment which he did come into.
Came into a right mess, so you've got to give him that. On the playing side, I think he's done pretty well. Both him and the board got some real stick in the summer for the players that we were signing. And to be truthful, in the main, they've done really well. They did the homework and got some good players coming in. You know, that I think will stand us in good stead for the rest of the season. Off the field, there's been all sorts of stuff going on that's been positive and not so positive. You know, I love flatbreads. I know you all lot don't get chances. Only me and Tracy gets a chance to have it because, you know, we're in posh seats. And they are worth having, just so you know. You know, if ever they come to you, they are worth having.
Not interested in West End. We're not interested.
That does my head in.
Nobody's interested in
no
West End.
prices anywhere. So if you ask for one, you're gonna have to pay whatever they ask for.
Well, you're not allowed them anyway, are you? So don't worry about it.
Hungry, mate. Don't get this big without being hungry, pal.
I'll tell you this much, Craig. I could eat one now. I'll tell you that. I could eat one. I'm hungry. Could eat one now. They're worth having. Just so you know, if ever you get the opportunity, they're worth having. There were other debacle about the West End closure that was all a bit of a mess. May have been perfectly good, valid reasons for doing it, but the communication from the club and maybe from Khaled himself was rubbish, truthfully, in my view. We've met him a few times, and he's a very personable guy, and he tries, I think, to be reasonably honest, but it's difficult because it's, it's the chief executive, so you're gonna get politician type answers, aren't you? That's what you're going to. Well, probably not politicians, not anything. Won't be downright lies, but political answers. Yeah. Politicians' answers of a reasonable sort. We'll see. I'm hoping, truthfully, that we're going to, before he goes, presuming that that's all accurate and he is leaving at the end of the season, that we get his big news. Because I hope it's, because he's had a lot of stick about flatbreads, which I think is unfair, as I've said, because they are lovely. I don't know if you know that, they are lovely. But the big news, a lot of stick about the big news. And he knows that, he knows it. I hope the big news is big news for the club. I'm not sure how well it'll be seen as fans, but hopefully that the big news will come out. And like Craig, I don't think it'll make a blind bit of difference to how he conducts himself between now and the end of the season. Again, presuming there is leaving us. I think he'll be professional throughout, and I think he'll, with the board, they'll look at how we can strengthen and what we can do in January. And, sort out contracts. There may be players leaving. There's players out of contract in the summer. Who knows what's going to happen in January? It's why I hate transfer windows. Ins and outs, who knows? But I don't think it'll make any difference whatsoever because he's a decent bloke that will do a professional job to the best of his ability. So hopefully it'll be on a high after promotion.
Yeah, I think it'd be almost a poetic way for him to leave, really, wouldn't it, Trace? Because there's been ups and downs in his tenure, obviously, as we've just mentioned. He came into a poor situation when he first arrived, but he has tried with us as fans of doing all the fan forums, which he's done, turning up to events run by multiple YouTube channels and bands associated one, inviting bands content creators down to certain events and days and things like that. He's tried to engage with the fans where he can do, hasn't he? Like, he's tried to create that sense of community, which I think was definitely lost during that very, very poor season.
Yeah, I think when that season ended, well, the club was probably at one of the lowest ebbs that certainly I can remember in terms of where we were, not only in League One, but as a fan base, as a team. It was just awful. And I think I semi-disagree with Craig, because I think he will leave us in a better position as a club. I'm not necessarily talking about if we are in League One.
I was just talking about position. I wasn't talking
about...
Yeah.
The thing, that because, Shop, and then he got Ashbaggy in, and I still feel that was like rushed, and he didn't really get a fair crack in terms of we were in trouble when he got the job. But Duff was great. Obviously, he left us in the lurch, but he was great. And I think last season the rebuild was much faster than I think anybody thought. And I think fair credit to him, because he kept him. And again, like when I've been to where Andy said, some of the fan forums, in some ways I think he speaks really honestly, and I sort of find myself, I think he's a good enough guy. And then he just seems to drop almighty clangers, like the the big secret, which people just can't forget because he keeps mentioning it, and then it disappears again. And obviously the minute this came up, everyone were like, oh, well, we get to find out the secret before it goes. So I mean, the club have made a statement saying that he will be here until the end of the season as per his contract, but they have acknowledged that he's been linked to the. Is it Hammarby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not big on Swedish football, to be honest. So
let's get Tony Carlson in.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll get a pronunciation.
I think they're in their highest league, so, and obviously from where he's from, etc., it would make sense. But yeah, generally speaking, I think it's probably the right time at the end of the season, assuming we go up. I think it'd be perfect for him and for us, because I think the fans generally have got a bit of a downer on him, and it's probably the right time, because I think he's probably lost a lot of respect. And when we get to talk about Andy's favourite subject coming up shortly, then again, that hadn't done him any favours either. So
yeah, it has been. There's been ups and downs, but
I'm just gonna say I feel sorry for him though, because he's put his head above the parapet, tried to give some good news that he believed would be done soon after he said it. And he said that he believed it to be true, but the thing is, everybody's just using it as a tool to bat him over the head with. If everything had aligned like he thought it would when he said that, he'd have already told us by now. Obviously something's happened and he's not been able to come out with it. But all that he's going to do now is further give the club a reason not to say nothing to the fans, because if it doesn't get pulled off, then fans are just going to hit you with it every time. And I don't agree with that personally. I think, look, take it as it is. He expected to be able to give us some big news. He hasn't been able to give it us because things that probably aren't his fault. So we'll just stay waiting, stay patient.
Do you think within that, though, he could come out and say that, though, to us? Within that, he could come out and just be like, look, this was what we planned, but X, Y, Z happened.
He did in his last statement. He said that. He thought he could have given it by now, but some things behind the scenes have took longer than he expected. So he has come out and said that as well. But people just enjoy hitting him with stuff, I suppose.
I think there'll be a big thing in January. Like Andy said, there's a couple of key players, well, there's more than a couple of key players that are going to be out of contract. And if he can get them contracts secured sort of before the transfer window, then that could really help him in terms of the public opinion, because it's going to be really telling that, and he'll obviously be instrumental in that. So yeah, that would really be for me, he'll either get then hated, or actually I think he'll redeem himself, and then people will start to think, actually, do you know what, the guy's done a good job.
Yeah, I think another thing as well that's good with it is we know now, so we've got ample time, Andy, to go and get a suitable replacement in, and get
someone be you or Smith. Not be you or Smithy. Don't worry about that.
I'll send my CV and see.
They should start looking now, though. They should get him into a room. Yeah. They should say, look, are you going or not? Because we need to know. We need to start searching now for a replacement.
They'll know. They'll know. The board will know.
I'd like to make sure
what's happening. They'll know.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yes,
I mean,
think
if he does go, I mean, I don't mind if he stays. To be honest, I know a lot of people don't want, but I don't mind at all because I think he's a decent person trying to do a decent job. But if he does go, he'll go with my best wishes, and wherever he does, here or elsewhere, I wish him all the best. There's some bits that I'm not happy about, but it's not all down to one person. Although as a chief executive, you take the flak for everything, don't you, and everybody. So, because with the territory, I do understand that.
I think we've got to remember also he got handed the baton from he who shall not be named. He also had a star player signed that summer that only played a combination of 18 minutes. And that is a lot of wages that he didn't have a chance to play with. He did try and help us out that season. He fetched in Ash Baggy, he fetched in Bassi and Dominguez Kina. He did try to do something with what little he had. So, but I do think he were given a really rough ride that first season because we're always going down that season. Let's face it.
Yeah, I think as well because shop on a 3-year deal as well. When we had him, so to get rid of him, that's gonna cost.
As a chief executive, though, you have to do what the owners or the board say. They set the tone, and you have to work within those parameters. And it's by no mistake that we got a completely, we got a board takeover, if you like. People within the board ousted other people from the board, and that was going on behind the scenes. And people heard rumours and what have you, but that was still for me, that was really big news and made a significant difference. And it enabled Khaled to then start with proper fans engagement. I know some people that go to the fans engagement things and the forums and what have you say, he don't answer things very well, but at least we had him. Before that, it was deafening. The silence from the club throughout a really turbulent time and a dreadful season was absolutely deafening. It's so, and it's changed that round, and for me, it's changed the tone of the club, and for that, I think he's done especially well for that.
Yeah, I think he will go with everyone. Well, you'd assume he'd go with everyone's best wishes, and just hope that we can end it on a high that finishes in promotion. Because I think it'd be a lovely way to sort of end it. But going to one of the decisions which happened, and something which has been a very big talking point, especially on social media over the last few weeks. I think it's because we didn't have a game on Saturday. It's something that's affected you a lot, Andy, because
we said Craig were going to start this off. Rather than it all be me.
Oh,
it's supposed to be Craig that's banging on about this, and then I'll stick my penneth in.
I was providing the context.
For 20 minutes.
I haven't bought a shirt. I think last shirt I bought was that retro one I wear, which
Barnsley All-Stars.
I can just quickly mention my predicament and then just pass it on to Andy.
4 years ago, last shirt I bought. So not something that I think I've not been in a club shop either in probably 2 years. 3 years now, so I've not been in there for a while as well.
Can't miss anything.
No, it's good to know. But yeah, obviously there's the Fanatics and or Puma issue that's having on over the shirts not being available. Craig, so what's happened to you?
Right, well,
anything happened?
I ordered the first week the shirts come out. I ordered a black one. I ordered a one for my daughter as well, a goalkeeper kit. Waited 2 months, got an email saying that they were going to be delayed. So I wrote an email complaining, said I wanted my money back because I thought it was absolutely absurd that you have to wait over 2.5 months for a kit from a club that is literally 20 minutes away from my house. I think it's been an absolute shambolic show from start to finish. And like I said to you guys before, I think we're trying to spread into this American market, which is why we've got US Mobile on front of our shirts, which is why we've got stars on our shirts, which is why we're going to Fanatics based in America. I think we're trying to get an American market that isn't there. We're in League One. We're not in Premier League. This all needed doing in a few seasons when we're established in Championship. Too soon. We've alienated a lot of his own fans now that can't get out of their own shirts for their own football club. And I am disgusted by it. And I hope that this is the only season that we've got that deal for, and I hope it don't spread to next season, because this year I've not bought no kits. I'm not planning on doing it. I don't care what deal comes out, how many discount codes I get sent, and I'll not do any next season or season after neither, because it's a disgrace. And that's my...
I think it is
Why don't you
really
just say
weird
what you
that
think,
can't-
Craig? Say what you
I've
think.
got-
Don't quote it. I don't want the politician's answer. Don't quote it, Craig.
It's
I
a
think-
family show, Andy. If I really want to say what I really wanted to say, this video won't be able to go up.
Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, don't anything more for me to do with this editing of it.
Ah, you've
That's
got
it.
form, Craig.
I'm trying to be nice.
I'm not going to start bleeping stuff out.
I don't want Joe,
Um,
I don't want him to be up until 2 in the morning just editing.
No, I
Again.
think it is weird that you can't, especially because we've had season before when open day is the day when the kit's like launched and you can go to a shop and buy it on that, which is what, middle of July usually when we have the open day. Shirts maybe announced a couple of weeks before, end of June, something like that, and 2 weeks later you can go and buy it in shop, and yeah, shop might run out, but they'll go and order more and they'll come in stock in a few weeks' time, which supply and demand you expect. But pre-ordering it first day and it's still not, well, some still haven't arrived for you, Andy, have they?
I think Craig's. Oh my gosh. Get ready. Strap yourselves in. I'm up.
Well, I am.
Up and running. Strap yourselves in. Craig said it. I don't know where the blame lies. I mean, from my point of view, it's Fanatics that's been getting it. Their customer services must be absolutely sick of me. I don't know if it's maybe it's all the club, Puma, Fanatics, I don't know, but Puma, Fanatics is getting it. On the first day that the strips were available, I ordered this shirt, one for two kids ones, one for Noah and one for Jack. 13 weeks. Noah got his last week, his shirt last week. And we ordered it right at the start of July, something like the 5th of July. So I just think that's ridiculous. I ordered for me, because I'm not that bothered about grandkids. I love them, but only one shirt's worth. So I ordered a black one for me, and on and on. It's a saga and a half, and I'm not going to go into it. Saga and a half. In the end, I complained, and they answered me, and it were, I think, a poor answer. So I complained again, poor answer, and all that. They cancelled it. They just cancelled it. What I did get out of it, which I'm pleased about from my point of view, but it's costing other people money. I got a 50 quid voucher and actually had delivered a white shirt that I probably wear on the next show that we do. So I got a free shirt, apart from, customizing it. I got a free shirt. But that's not the way to do business. It's the black. If I wanted the white one, that's the one I'd have ordered. I ordered the black one right at the start, the very morning that it was released. You're able to order it, and I had it cancelled wherever it was 13 weeks later, which is just ridiculous. For the kids, I mean, I hope that they don't watch this, but for the kids, we always, for Jack and Noah, we always order a goalkeeper strip, the full strip, as a Christmas present for them. I don't know why they won't know this, because it happens every year. Well, finally, the second pair of shorts came this week. So I've got both pairs of shorts. The socks are on the way, apparently. And one of the shirts, it's the pink one, is now on its way. But I complain. Poor Noah, his shirt's still being processed. How on earth it can still be processed from early July to now? It's an absolute shambles. Poor Noah, with this shirt, I said he got it this week. He was so thrilled that he got it, but so upset the week before, because me and Jack are wearing our shirts to the football game, and Noah's saying, he's only flipping 9. Where's mine? Why haven't I got one? And, I tried to explain, I've complained, and, who knows, Noah? Hopefully it'll be coming, but, he's 9. So I think they're losing money because, they're cancelling things. They're giving 25% off, 30% off, 20% off. But if you're not going to order it, it don't matter what percent you get off. For me, they offered free postage when I got the white shirt and all that. So that bit right. But I wanted the black shirt, and I have absolutely no idea what I will do if Noah's pink goalkeeper shirt, hopefully the same as the goalkeepers wear, If that doesn't come, I've got a pair of shorts and hopefully soon a pair of socks that are useless without the shirt. So if I send them back, I'm told that they're going to cost me money to send them back. They've had that. I'm not having that. So there'll be even. I'm already in the middle of complaining, so there'll be more complaints. And I just think it's so unnecessary. You know, we're in flipping. You know, we're on whenever it is now, 18th of October. This was the start of July. It's months ago. And as you said, Josh, this should be there. Gets announced at open day, you buy them. Then the second, you buy them. It's insane how long this has taken, and it's an absolute shambles. And I don't know who can do it to put it right. But what I do get irritated by, I mean, it's Fanatics customer services that's getting it in the neck from me, because I keep saying, I keep getting the thank you for your custom. Well, you're not going, give me my shirt that I bought. Give me my shirt. So they're getting it in the neck. But what really troubles me, you know, because we've just talked about Khaled in the club and about fans forums and engaging with fans after a wall of silence. I've not seen or heard anything from the club about this, and I think that's really, really poor. I think they should come out and take whoever set this up, take some responsibility and say, it were me, and this is what it were all about. Even if it's collective, if it's not just one person. So I don't know who it is, but if it's one person, somebody should come out, whether it's Khed or John Flatman or somebody, a board member should come out and acknowledge the absolute shambles that it's become.
And rectify it for next season.
Put it right.
Mm.
Put it
Yeah,
right.
it's I just find it so strange that you can't go into a club shop and buy the strips of your own team, Tracy, because it's, especially when you've got people, as Andy touched upon then, you've got people getting shirts without sponsors on. I think there's been other things as well. The badges have been missing on some of them.
I know they've been saying they've been having difficulty putting people's names and numbers on back. Like that's something they shouldn't be expecting to have to do.
Yeah, I think because there's, like, if you think about it, there's what, 10,000 season ticket holders. So chances are not every season ticket holder is going to buy a shirt each year. So you'd be looking at what, 5,000 shirts getting sold a season. Yeah. Like it's not like we're Man United who are shipping millions of shirts out across the world. Like chances are a heavy majority of all custom is done in and around Barnsley, if not South Yorkshire. And it's to 5,000-6,000 people maybe.
That's what confused me, because you go on their website, you see Chelsea, Arsenal, all these Man United, all these big clubs. You don't see Ardsley's name on there. So you can only go through club to get to Fanatics. It really seems strange to me. It really does.
If it keeps on going in this...
Yeah, sorry, it annoys me though more than anything. Why can't you go into our club shop and buy our strip? It's just that I went in on Tuesday and it's horrendous. Like a guy came in while I was there and asked for a pair of football socks. He didn't care what strip they were from. I mean, I feel sorry for the people who are working there because they are getting some right hammer, and it's clearly not their fault. But then the guy said, well, we haven't got any socks. And they were like, I'm not bothered which strip it's from. No, we haven't got any socks. And he carried on and he went, no, we haven't got any socks. And I'm thinking, like, what? So as a club shop, we can't sell a pair of socks. And it's little things like that. Then there was a sign saying there was somebody trying to bring something back. You can't bring anything back if you've ordered it online. Like Andy said, you've got to pay to send it back. I'm thinking, we're Barnsley in League One, in a town, in a community that, some people haven't got excess money. They've saved up to buy this 50 quid shirt.
Prices went up as well.
Yeah, and now they're being told they've got to pay 6 quid to send it back, or you can't take it back to the club shop. And I'm thinking, well, the club shop couldn't do with it because they haven't got any anyway, so why don't they just take them back? It's just bonkers. And then the signs now, you can't pay with cash. And there was a little kid there trying to pay with some cash, and I just think, what the hell are we doing as a club? It just seems business and financial suicide to me. And it's lost respect for all the supporters like you, Josh. I mean, to be fair, I always buy a shirt, and I just haven't, because I always do. But I just think I just can't be hassled with it all more than anything. I hear and I see what's going on amongst us, and I just think, I can't be bothered with all that. So
See,
it's
but
just
the,
what
big- the
worries
big
me-
clubs. Oh,
It's still off, isn't it? Let me finish my bit. What worries me, if they're getting home shirts that aren't having, numbers and what have you on the back, aren't even having sponsors on, they're going to finish up selling home shirts without the stars on, and that'll never do.
that'd
I'm
be a
not having that.
That'd be a travesty.
I'm not
well,
having
actually, a
that.
nice looking shirt.
The
That'd
Barnsley All Stars,
That'd
not
be
having it.
outrageous.
I love this one, me, with badges on and stuff. Yeah, but you go into Chelsea and Man U, and their club shop is also selling them. So why is Barnsley not allowed to sell their own kit, but the big clubs are, as well as Fanatics are allowed to sell them?
I mean, as for that black
Dunno.
shirt, it's an enigma. That black shirt. I mean, like
It's not even this badge.
No, we've barely played in it. I noticed we'd barely played in it, and
Yeah,
then
because they ain't got any spares.
but then, well, especially now, if it's gone up in flames, if it were there on that bus, and now I think like you don't like how come no one's got one of these shirts? It will be a collector's item because there's very few people I know that's even got them.
If you've got one of them, buy it on eBay.
Oh, get it framed.
Yeah,
You know.
you got to.
I'll
look
tell you
after
what.
that.
I'll tell you what. If we get some more and the team play in black shirts, and if ever we're playing black shirts, I expect you, Josh, to be shouting at Nicky Cadden. You've got Andy's shirt there. He wants it back because I ordered it before Nicky.
I've heard
Sorry,
they get
Nicky.
kept in a safe.
Sorry.
They're black ones. After they've worn them, they get washed, chucked in safe because if they can't hand any out because they've got no spares. So
Can't have them drinking it wesh. Otherwise, we'll have just be red and white that we've got. Right. I suppose we might as well start moving on to the game of football that's occurring this weekend.
yeah.
And actually speak about some on-field stuff. So, got a lovely little stat sheet that's about to pop up there.
Oh,
Got Leyton Orient away. So top scorer, 5 goals this season, sat 10th in the league, 3 wins in the last 5, but that's including a banding game. For those of you who've seen an A that's in that form there. Andy, you've just come off the away end.
Well, yeah, you said
go on.
that. I've just spoken to Adam Parks from the Orient Lowdown podcast, and he says that Richie Wellens, their manager's changed their formation lately. Because I thought that it was like a 4-2-3-1.
Mm-hmm.
He says
It's a 5 at back.
He says they've changed it, so it's very similar to the formation that we use. A 3-5-2, if you like, or sometimes a 4-3-2. Whatever. Very similar to us, and that they mix it up a bit with high pressing and the nuts. It sounds like it's. I thought he was describing us, to be honest. So it's going to be that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I also said that we might not have any shirts, so we'll be the team playing in skins.
Brilliant.
Who knows? Didn't borrow mine, but it'll not fit any on them.
I'll maybe get to one in a minute. Man and all.
They've got off to a decent start though, Craig, haven't they? Obviously coming up this season, it seems like all the sides which have come up so far have done fairly well. I think there's Stevenage obviously still in the top 6. Leyton Orient sat 10th so far, and I forget who else has come up this season.
Carlisle.
Yeah, Carlisle as well. So it seems like there's decent competition from the sides that have come up this season.
Yeah, they're definitely coming round to the league now. 1 loss in the last 7, including the abandoned match. They've won the last 4 straight home games. Like I said, 10th league, but they have only scored 11 goals, so they're not prolific. I think they've conceded 15. I'm not 100% sure, but I have got a stat for you. They have the worst disciplinary record in the league with 38 yellow cards so far. So they're an aggressive bunch, which coming up from League 2, I can expect. To be fair, the changed formation. I think about 4 or 5 games ago, and they started playing 5 at the back with John Graham playing as their right wing back, and he's been getting some good assists this season. I think he's got 3 so far. So it's. But if you look at who they've played, they've only played Peterborough in the last 7. That is in the top half of the league. All the rest have been Carlisle, Fleetwood, Reading. They've been fairly poor teams. So I'm expecting us to come up against a team that we used to play in this season. I think they're going to be kind of defensive and but aggressive with it. But I think the onus is on us to break them down and win, and I expect us to do that.
I think it's becoming sort of a bit of a recurring theme from for us, Trace, isn't it? When we play these sides, that we either goes one or two ways: of we struggle, or we go and roll them over like Cambridge, or we struggle like we did against Cheltenham. But we eventually do seem to get over the line.
Yeah, we seem to be grinding out the results, don't we? Exeter, obviously last time out as well. Yeah, I mean, I noticed, like you're right, Craig. They're on -4 because they're the sort of the highest placed team with the first minus goal difference, if you like. So that was the thing that stuck out for me. That clearly they're not scoring many, and if they are, they're certainly conceding more. So that bodes well for us. But yeah, I think from what I've seen of Leyton Orient, which isn't loads, but the little bit of stuff I've read about them, I think it'll be more of grinding out from what I can. I mean, Andy, you've just spoke to. Is it? Did you say Jamie?
Adam
yeah,
Parks.
Adam, sorry, so I don't know where I got Jamie from. Sorry.
You can call him Jamie if you want to, ain't mine.
No, I've been texting. I should know his name really, but anyway. Yeah, so I think it's more of a grind out sort of a game, and I noticed that they've got George Moncur. He's still sort of playing. He's still got a couple of assists. I mean, he can turn around in the middle of the field, that lad. So we'll see. We'll see about him. And I know
we'll see when Connell's on him.
Well, yeah, maybe not. I don't think so this weekend. But and I noticed that McCart had been there last season as well for their promotion when he was on loan. So that's my Alan will be proud that I've got in a couple of ex-players' knowledge, is what I thought.
Oh
so,
yeah.
I thought I'd like channel me in Alan. So yeah, a couple of links. But yeah, I think. I mean, we're away, therefore it's a win, isn't it? Like,
that's true. That's true. If it's
I did say in last video that our own form has only been bad because teams that we've been playing away have been fairly easy. So let's see if that stands up by winning them away again.
Yeah, you got a lot of people agreeing in the comments with you with that as well. Of the teams we played at home being trickier than
the truth teller knows. See.
The truth tale. Andy, do you have any inside info for us in terms of key players to look at? I mean, obviously scored 11, I think Raul, and I can't remember his second name, but it was on the screen earlier.
Raul Sartorio
has scored 5, so he scored nearly half their goals, which probably equates to what Devante's done for us this season.
Sartorio, yeah, he scored 5 goals. I'm not going to give too much away. People need to watch the away end.
Oh, I like it. Oh, I like it. I like it.
So, come on, viewers.
Get them baited over, Andy.
Sort yourselves out. I've got a few things. I mean, what he has said is that what Adam did say is that they've improved. They've got better. As the season's gone on, they've got better. And as Craig said, they've only lost. Well, the stats I've got 1 in the last 6, maybe the 1 in the last 7. And they won 4 of them. So lost 1, drawn 1 against Peterborough, and won 4. Now you can say, oh, they're not teams at the top. And he did say that one of the teams the one team that took them apart really were Portsmouth. But we know how that feels. I think they lost 3-0 to them as well. So at least we fought back. What he did tell me, which were nice and refreshing, because I asked him if they'd got any tumble down Teds. And he basically wanted how many I wanted to ask him, because I think he gave me 3. So I'll get 1 in defence, 1 up front, and one in midfield. So he gave me a few tumble down to. He said there's quite a few. I'll not give it away because you need to watch it. But yeah, he gave a few of them. So that was interesting, because normally people say, "Oh, not my team. Oh no, that doesn't happen to my team." He also pointed out, and I'll not say it again because you need to watch it, that they've got a few players that, how can I put it? I've got short fuses, but he asked me not to say out to anybody because he didn't want us to give the game away. So anybody that watches the show,
Neil Collins watches this as well. So
yellow card count. I was saying.
I promised it would just.
All added up now.
I promised it would just between me and him, and anybody that happens to watch that show on YouTube. They've got a few feisty players. What I will say is that they've got, from what he said, they've got quick wing back come wingers that get down the line quick and get it across. So, so that's something that we've sometimes been susceptible to. So that's something that we're going to have to watch. But it'll be a tight game. What we did talk about, which we talked about our coach fire, just playing in skins and what have you, and how lucky, might not seem to the time, but how lucky we were. He talked about somebody that used to do their public address in the 90s, a 74-year-old guy called Derek Reynolds, who sadly died at the match. During the match, people were working on at the touchline and they tried to get the referee's attention. He talked a lot about the EFL and about how things need to change because the referee wanted to continue. And one fan who tried to stop the game was sort of quite forcibly led away from what he said. The game stopped when about 20 people went on the pitch and sat down and wouldn't move, so that they had to do something about it. Referee dropped the ball for the Lincoln goalkeeper to continue. And Lincoln goalkeeper, fair play to the Lincoln goalkeeper, said, "Not having any of that." And he sat down and all. He went, I'm not doing it. He sat down as well. So they stopped the game on about 10 minutes from the end. And obviously at the end it was called off. So that's a very sad thing. That's a very, very sad thing. So it's going to be an interesting encounter on Saturday because they'll still have that roar in their minds, and of course we've got the coach fire that'll be in our minds about not so much what happened, but what could have happened. So it's going.
Also, what happened to David Croft a couple of years ago as well, which is fresh.
It's the first thing I thought about, but when I like everybody, when I saw what had gone off, it just shows you, and hopefully Leyton Orient will feel the same towards Lincoln and the Lincoln goalkeeper as we felt and still feel towards the Burton Albion players and staff who drew the referee's attention. Fortunately, ours was ultimately a better outcome, but we all know it was touch and go. So sadly, not the case at Orient. So condolences and all the best to all their fans, their staff, and to Derek Reynolds' family and friends. So shame.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It were a terrible situation. And obviously the outcome was the worst possible, which is just a sad time. Right, we'll get the young twins on for their prediction, and we'll come back with ours.
Choo choo! All aboard the Orient Express. Let's hope we don't get murdered. All right, Prowell. What do you think the score's going to be? I think it'll be 1-0 to Barnsley. I think it'll be 2-0 to Barnsley. If you think you're better than predicting than us, get it in the comments down below. You Reds!
So, 1-0 and 2-0. Andy, because I know you wanted to copy their predictions, and I've gone a little browse. So, 1 and 2-0. First off, do you want to explain? Obviously, the first mini competition's come to an end. So mini competition results exactly reflects the current league table. But running our next competition, and you've got some info about it, Andy.
Yeah, first off, Andrew Laycock, get in touch with us.
Yes,
you've won.
Do.
You've won. Executive box, get in touch with us. If you don't get in touch with us, us will be having your seat. Get yourself sorted out. You've got a seat there get in touch. That's first thing. Second thing, that competition's finished, but we're gonna continue with a second mini competition, if you like, that will run up to and including the 1st of January. Wigan at home, ironically. Wigan at home. So, that'll be a belated Christmas present. Hopefully it'll be a Barnsley shirt, but
is it no Swedes
who
allowed?
knows?
So
Who knows?
we can have so somebody can have a chance this time. No Swedes allowed.
Well, what you've also got to remember is that there's the season-long competition. So the stuff that's just finished with the first mini comp continues as the season competition. So there's two running parallel. So as it goes on, if you get to a stage where you think, oh, flipping it, Tony Carlson's just going to hammer it again, keep going, because you never know. You know, he's got, as far as the mini competition, Tony's got 0. So, you know, what we need to do, we have little Al and Andy on it, George and Isaac coming on. We need to get Tony on so everybody can copy him, because he's got it. He hammered the first one. You know, it's well in advance, but it's only 15 games in. It's not
It's
a
marathon,
sprint.
not a sprint.
It's a marathon, absolutely, Craig. So don't be put off by Tony. You know, although he did well. Well done, Tony. I'm proud of you. So yeah, it starts again on Saturday. Leyton Orient away, all the way up to Wigan at home on the 1st of January. A belated Christmas present. It might be even more belated than you think if we manage to get a shirt.
Don't.
That's the thing.
Might be June.
If Tony wins again,
We'll have to order it now so it gets here for the end of the season.
Well, Tony's going to be struggling because he's got the red one. So
yeah. So if Tony,
I'll offer him a black one. Sorry, Tony.
Just for those, if you've not predicted before, it is 3 points for the correct score and result. So if you predicted a 3-0 Barnsley win and Barnsley win 3-0, 3 points. 1 point for the correct result. So if you predicted 3-0 win but Barnsley win 1-0, you'll get 1 point. And then if you predicted incorrectly, so you predicted a win for Barnsley, but we lost or drew, nothing. So yeah, that is the rules of the competition. It will be running up to the 1st of January, just in time for the January sales and the January deals. So let's get into our predictions. Craig, you can go first.
Well, I am going to go 2-0. I
Ooh.
think we've got enough to hold them back. I think we'll get a goal around half time, whether it's just before half time or just as second half starts, and then I reckon we'll get a big hurrah in the last in 85th minute plus when they're trying to throw everybody forward.
That is a very specific prediction.
I do think about these things, you know.
That is a very specific prediction.
I sit here, I study all the games they've had, when they've scored, and I study this stuff.
If any recruitment teams watching this, there's a new person there for you as a recruitment analyst. But we'll see how good that prediction is though first.
Hey, he did well. He did well in the first. He's done well so far, Craig. Not Craig. He's done well.
You got more points than me, which isn't hard. So I don't know if that's actually a compliment or not.
They were in playoffs.
Yeah, you made it into my table. You made it into the table I made for mini comp. So that were at least top 7 or top 8. Tracy, what do you reckon? It's a Saturday.
I think it's the start of a massive week for us, actually. I think, you know, after I'm really going bold, and I think we could really, really put pressure on those two above us with 3 wins. So there's a start. So, yeah, I think we've got a real... This is Neil Collins's big week ahead, I think. He's had a good time to prep. Touch wood, everyone's... Other than the ones we know, we're a full squad. So that'll be good. Styles has come back, looks like he's played and done well. So you're hoping he's come back feeling top of the world. So yeah, a bit of selection down for him, but I'm confident that we're gonna do it. But I'm gonna nick Andy's special. I think it's gonna be 2-1 because I still don't see us not conceding. Particularly if they've got fast wing backs. I sort of went when you said that. So I think they could get around back of us a couple of times. So yeah, I think 2-1, but we get a win.
I thought when you're saying all that about a bold prediction, I was expecting 3-4, a 4-0 coming up.
No, I mean 3 wins. We're going for 3 wins is where I'm going.
Fairs. Andy, I'm interested to see your prediction, given that you've already recorded the away end, so hence why I'm going after you.
Well,
I am cheating, basically.
Well, you don't need to. Adam Parks, he's predicted 1-1, and I've made my prediction on the away end show. So I'm a bit loath to tell you what I predicted. Actually, I can tell you what I'm going to predict because, truthfully, I lied to him. I told him a prediction that I've no intention of being my prediction. I lied. So I think we're going to win 2-1, and that's not what Adam thinks. 2-1 to Barnsley.
Another plug as well for the away end there.
Yeah.
So you have to go watch and find out.
He's getting good at this, isn't he?
The first one.
I'm a wrong-un.
Yeah, you're so social media trained here, Andy.
I know. It's frightening, isn't it?
This is unbelievable from you.
Us right in, you are.
Yeah, you're in your prime right now.
At
Only downhill.
69-year old, I think I probably
It'll go happen one day.
Unlikely.
So what did you go for then, Andy?
I've got 2-1 to Barnsley, but that's not what
Ooh.
he thinks, so don't tell him.
Okay, right. First game back after international break, bit of rust enough to shake off in first half. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go 1-0 to us. And so 1-0. I feel like it's gonna be one of them that it's gonna be a pain of a game. It's gonna be a pain to work his way into it. But we'll get there and we'll get through it. And hopefully 3 points. And I see four wins as well across us all. Good to see.
I hope. I mean, when you get the show up, I hope Smithy puts his on early because his army of fans will want to know what he's predicted.
True. He'll have to get that in. I'll give him a message on Facebook once it's up, and he can find out. Right, it's just about it, isn't it? We finally got round to the football. If we managed to shut you up, Andy.
Don't forget the away end. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but don't forget it.
Oh yeah, there could be an away end coming out. I don't know if that's been so obvious yet. That should be out Thursday evening, Friday morning, depending on how quick I can edit it.
I'll watch
and
it
get
to
up.
catch Andy fibbing at people.
Yeah. And there's been loads of teasers in this show, so make sure you go and check it out. So yeah, I think that's right, isn't it? So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, get your predictions in, especially as now started the new mini competition. For those of you who, if you haven't got off the best start, such as me, you're still right back in it. You know, as Andy's already said, roll back on 0. So by January, I could be seeing myself in a brand new black strip. I think I might get myself a third one after I've run away with 45 points.
You're good at Photoshop then.
No, well, you know, I have to do it for these thumbnails, Craig. So I've had to learn a bit.
Come on, the skins.
Right, we'll see you later, you Reds.